this new phone, the camera doesn't make any noise when I push start, so I gotta get all ready and then not knowing if it started, but it did. So yeah, back in the truck, as you can probably somewhat tell. I guess it's pretty dark over there. Back in the truck, obviously. Left out yesterday, went from Columbia to Illinois, and then back to Springfield. So I'm currently in Springfield, making this video. We're gonna get the truck worked on. We had to drop a load that goes to Mexico, and yeah, so we're here. I thought there was something else I was going to say before getting into it, but apparently not. A trucking video for you guys. I know it's been a lot of me rambling. There's some football and basketball stuff and some home time stuff. This video is dealing with a trainer. I already did a video a couple weeks ago about living in the truck with a trainer. I'm kind of going to go a different way with this one and have it more on just grinding it out with different types of trainers. There's not really a system in which companies select their trainers, to my knowledge, at least the big ones. Pretty much you want to decide to be a trainer, get talked into being a trainer or whatever, you do some classes and then you're a trainer. So there's not really a process to make sure the person's going to be a good trainer, that they really know what they're doing, or anything like that. So really, when it comes to training and trainers, it's the luck of the draw, as you've heard me say in other videos, I believe. Every company, for the most part, is going to be that way, especially big companies, because they get so many students, they need a crap load of trainers to keep the students going through and all that. So this isn't a Prime specific idea. This isn't a a company specific thing. This is just trainers in general. People get into training for a variety of reasons. My first trainer got talked into it by our fleet manager. I think his motives were to get a bigger truck and get out of the lightweight. Which, side note, I did see inside of a lightweight the other day. We passed a guy sitting talking to him in the fuel island, and there was no storage, and this space right here, from here to here, like this, however wide that is, was gone. The bed was right up to the seats. I don't remember the make of the truck or anything like that, so sorry. And I didn't actually hop up in it or anything, but I stood on his steps and looked in, and there's really no room at all. He said he didn't need the room, he was perfectly fine with it. So, that's something to think about. Back to training. My first trainer talked into training. I think he went for the bigger truck, maybe the pay, maybe the home time, because he lived so close to Springfield that while I was here preparing to test out, he was able to go home every night, and while he was doing the classes to train, he was able to go home every night. So that's probably his motivation. Others strictly money, motivated by money. Others really have the intent to teach, and maybe just a combination of everything. But know going in that you could get a trainer that doesn't necessarily care about you. Like, my thought on it is, if you fail, the trainer gets another student and goes on. The company keeps going because they got plenty of students coming in. Really, the only one that is invested totally in the training is you. So prepare yourself before anything else. Make sure you know what you're getting into. Make sure you're ready for what you're getting into. And be prepared for whatever comes up. I had to work my tail off to learn pre-trip because my trainer sat in there, and played video games. We stopped. He said, alright, go do a pre-trip, and he came back and played Grand Theft. So, me, because I was dedicated, I was focused, I made it work. I was very, very close to getting a new trainer, but I made the decision to focus on myself as far as what I needed to learn, and it worked out for me. If you're not as dedicated as I was, having a trainer that was like that would be a big problem for you. So think about that. Make sure you're motivated before coming into this. If you're getting into trucking for a paycheck, like I've said in other videos, find something else. Go work in a warehouse somewhere. You might not make as much money, but it's going to be better for you in the long run, rather than getting into debt, going off to a school or one of these companies and getting weeded out because you're not ready. So that's that. Know that trainers are people just like the rest of us. Think about yourself and the weird stuff that you do, the quirks that you have, the pet peeves that you have, and realize that a trainer is the same. They have their own pet peeves, they have their own quirks, they have their own weird tendencies. One thing my first trainer did that got on my nerves, but was really irrelevant, was he would pop his elbow. So he'd kick his arm out like that to pop his elbow just randomly. Like, we'd be driving and then he'd pop his elbow out, and I think he was about to punch me in the side of the head or something. Annoyed the crap out of me. Does it really mean anything in the grand scheme of training? No, not at all. But it's little things that will really, really get on your nerves. So prepare yourself for that. Your patience will be tested. That's into what I was talking about in the last trainer-trainee type video. Everybody's the same, or everybody has their own, their own differences. What people do can be weird. What you do is weird, to them. So think about that. My current trainer likes it hot. I like it cold. So, it's a back and forth kind of deal, and just small things that I do that I'm sure, annoy him, and what he does that annoy me. That's stuff you're going to have to deal with. You're not out here to really be friends with your trainer. You're out here to learn. Not that you can't be friends. You don't need to be enemies or anything like that. Obviously, you don't want to be enemies, because they really kind of hold your fate in their hands. You just need a working relationship. It's pushed pretty hard because you're living with somebody in this space right here. You're living with somebody that you don't really know, that might annoy the crap out of you. I can't even imagine friends living in this tight of a space. Like team drivers, I don't know how they do it. Not for me. So, stuff to think about. Definitely think about. And, you're going to have to compromise at some point. And remember what your goal is here. And that's to obtain your license, obtain your own truck, and make money. So, prepare yourself for that. Another thing to think about is training styles. We are all different people. each trainer is going to teach a certain way, whether that's not really teach at all, sit there and talk on the phone the whole time, or it's drill sergeant type training. My current trainer, his friend started at Prime when my trainer was still at another company, and the stories he's told me about his friend's trainer were crazy. Like going down a big downgrade, and his trainer would just yell at him and scare him and terrify him and really stress him out going down these mountains. And in my head I'm like, that is insane, you're going to cause a wreck. But also, at the same time, and probably more importantly, now that guy can go down any pass, any downgrade without getting stressed about anything. You know, if there's mechanical issues with the truck, if there's traffic, snow, ice, I guess, you know, maybe snow and ice will be a little different just because of the dangers of the driving. But as far as like distractions or things like that, because he put up with that, now he's prepared for really whatever comes to him. So that drill sergeant type trainer might, you know, clash with you personally, but in my eyes, that's probably the best way to train. Of course, it would probably depend on the person. If they're constant drill sergeant 24/7, that gets old. But if it's just strictly when they're training, driving, you know, that kind of stuff, then you'll learn. You know, that'll put that stuff in your head. That's why the military does it that way, because you learn. You know, you're not going to screw up multiple times when you have the fear of someone just yelling at you and beating you up. You know, you're not going to have that you know, that fear. You know, so be prepared for somebody like that you might get, and know that there's positive in that. You know, just because they're yelling and screaming doesn't mean they're a bad trainer. It just means they do things their own way, and, you know, if you can fight along with that, you can succeed and probably be better off than a lot of people. You know, and on the opposite hand, you have the really, really laid back people that don't really care. You know, you're not going to learn a lot from that. You know, my trainer now is pretty laid back. He'll step in, he'll say things, you know, and I'll go with it. You know, so it's not to the point where he's too laid back and I'm not learning, but it's far, far away from drill sergeant and that kind of stuff. So, sorry, my back's hurt, man. I'm trying to hold this up and get in a position, whatever. So, you know, be prepared for different people's teaching styles, because they're gonna do their thing, you know, and it's your job to sit there and learn. You know, don't wear your emotions on your sleeve. You know, have thick skin. Brush the dirt off your shoulders. You know, my trainer now will sometimes say things that really irritate me. Not that he's intentionally trying to irritate me. It's just the way he says them, and that just really get under my skin. So, you know, in those situations, I take what I know he's trying to tell me, and, you know, I process that and filter out all the crap. I mean, that's the biggest part of training, I think, is filtering, you know, what you need to know. And it's difficult, but once you get out here, I think you'll probably understand a little more. So I think that's really my thoughts on that. I should probably write outlines and notes and stuff, you know, my ideas before I start making these, rather than just starting rambling. But, you know, really it breaks down to be prepared for any type of person to teach you any type of way. And really it comes down to you, and if you're ready for this, if you're ready to put yourself through this. A company sponsored program is like boot camp. I heard them make that comparison in some of the forums I was on, and I just now really understood that as I was saying it. it's a grueling process, you know. And I think training in general is, even if you go to an outside school, once you get out into the real world, you know, you're not on the practice pad. You're life and death to some degree. So, you know, prepare yourself. That's the biggest thing. You control everything in your career. If you feel unsafe with your trainer, if you feel you're not moving forward with your trainer, then talk to your dispatcher, fleet manager, whoever, and let them know, and make the changes. Really know what you need to do. Focus on your end game. Focus on getting your license. Focus on getting your truck, and go. You know, nothing can hold you back. A bad trainer, a good trainer, a drill sergeant trainer, any of that stuff. None of that stuff will hold you back if you're mentally prepared and positive for what you want, what your outcome's going to be. That's what I want you to get out of this video. So I guess I'll end it with that. You know, I'm going to try to keep the video shorter, 16 minutes, so not at all shorter. Now that I'm on limited data. So that's that. Big shout outs to my subscribers that are going through testing currently. I know one of them is actually over at the pad right now, but I have no idea where my vest is to get over there, and I'm kind of ready to just pass out. Another one either tests today or tomorrow, something like that. So, you know, y'all are out there. You know, best of luck to you. Holler at me if I can be of any kind of assistance. You know, training's not for me, but I can tell you like what I kind of went through, I guess. Big shout outs to everybody that's coming through Prime in the future. I know I got a couple subscribers. You know, I'll get a comment here or there, emails, that people are coming through in the next month or two or whenever. So that's awesome. If I led any of you guys to Prime, holler at me, let them know, give them my name. I think I might get some kickbacks. So think about that. But I'm not a recruiter, you know. Your decision's your decision. But if I helped y'all out, you know, you want to help your boy back out, you know what I'm saying? But I'll make these videos strictly for Prime candidates or students or drivers or anything like that. I make it just for truck drivers, and I use Prime as my example. So if you're looking and curious about Prime, you can see my journey. And if you're just curious about driving in general, you'll see the journey as well. Because a lot of it isn't company specific. Like what we're talking about today. Trainers are going to be at every company. I guess unless you have experience, then it doesn't really matter, because you know what you're getting into. So that's that. Yeah, nothing else I can add. You know, like, comment, subscribe. Give me other video ideas. Like I've said plenty of times, once I go solo, I'll try to make quite a few more videos. And I always want to answer questions. So, you know, always hit me up, everydaydayproductions@gmail.com. Leave me comments here. You know, that's really all I gotta say. But y'all out there that are driving, be safe. Winter's around the corner. You know, these four-wheelers are crazy. I do have a video in the works. My boy Carlos told me I needed to make a video on this, and I had already been planning it, about notes, messages for four-wheelers, a video on what not to do, you know, respect for us, you know, as we're out here. You know, don't be douchebags when you're driving around us, or driving in general, really. You know, so like that, I'm gonna make plenty more videos as time goes by. I know I've been slipping on the trucking related videos, but you know, after recent events and things like that, I haven't really been motivated, haven't really had time, and you know, now we're getting back on the road, get back into the swing of things, and hopefully I'll get some time to make y'all some videos of stuff you guys want to see. So remember, hit me up, whatever, I don't care. You know, I'm gonna keep on making the videos. YTTrucking.com. You've seen my other video about it, hopefully. That will get you a list of other YouTube truckers that are way more advanced than me, that do things their own way. You know, that's another place to look if you're looking for information on driving, what it's like to be a driver, what different companies do. You know, plenty of other stuff like that. So that's my quick shout out to all of the YouTube truckers, just because I can't go through and name them all. Not because I don't want to, but because I can't. There's a lot of us out there, and I only know a limited amount. So that's what I got. 21, damn. I was trying to keep it under 20. So cutting it off now. Be safe, be blessed, and y'all getting ready to test, man. Best of luck. Best of luck.